Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt on Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick? Pearls? Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? I swear to God if it's not Gumshoe. Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is. It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Here, that's good, pal. And what about you, anything? Have you figured out where to kill her Maya? Oh, well, we still don't have any leaf, but... What? We don't have any more time. If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. This is why I fucking never trust Gumshoe. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya has been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent? Huh, a tent? I can see a circus tent. Mia? It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal, in the very big circus. Ugh. Maya's somewhere within a 300 feet radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, around about a 300-foot radius. In front of the main tent, hurry. Awesome. And? I could see a mailbox under the window. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Oh, okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. You could just hang in there a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is being accused of being murder. Oops. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You've seen it before? That's right, it's only natural. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why? Why does she say? Why does she? Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time, and it enters a small cavity, just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. It's called a hammer. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine has a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? It's gotta be the suicide note in there. Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to do to that bear after all. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. The people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you can take it apart, and how would you go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right, then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh my god. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who brought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you. That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So, who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland. So I doubt that there are that many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. I don't give a fuck. I don't want it. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now. Figurine updated. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is, what is inside the box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes? You're the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. This is what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. That's what I figured. I don't think we need to guess what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's a suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Pa. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste had a very beautiful handwriting. And she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's it say? What was written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it's only appropriate the contents of this note to be made. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the dead, silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Pa left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then being thrown away by Edgeworth, Enguarde, after being engaged to Corrida and Enguarde's role in destroying that, and about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Pa had to say. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Matt Enguarde values above all else is refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public, at any cost. Celeste's suicide note has been added. It's Enguarde's fault that the woman killed herself, and this time he even went as far to kill someone else to stop him from revealing that. How terrible, what a selfish person. I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. Everyone is guaranteed a right to a fair trial and a right to a defender. There's no margin for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain the suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why, that's his hesitation, Phoenix. Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know I had to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of these. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry. The suicide note or the figurine, which one of these should I pursue? I say the figurine. Let's go figurine route. Please wait, Your Honor. I think that's just the easiest way to go. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. Shut up. The assassin took this with him from the scene of the crime, after murdering Mr. Kurita. At the request of his client, of course. So what's your point, Mr. Wright? I don't think it's possible that Mr. DeKiller's client was mad on guard. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. You can't tell by just looking at it, but that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt on guard thought the note was inside the bear are 0 to none. That is true. She has said that he didn't know. So there is no way he would have known. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. After all, there's no reason why Mr. Ungard would ever want a jewelry box like this. Order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately. I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is it? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Mr. That's the important part there. Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weakness. The victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard. Order! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. That's beyond the scope of this trial, Your Honor. It does not matter what my client does in his spare times, whether that be legal or illegal. This is not a trial of whether he spied on people, this is a trial of murder. And are we really going to say that he just so happened to watch as someone, in this case, Juan just happened to be able just to be like doing it all in the exact ways and seeing the note through a camera, knowing it's a suicide note in there? I mean, come on, that's pretty big speculations. Sort of. It's not an acceptable answer to me, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on guard's fingerprints were on there. Well, Phoenix, Looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Madame Garde learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey. Now what's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that the man, the bad guy killed guy? Shush, don't look at him. The way he's sweating, it's just so nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief. Have you figured out what you're going to do next? Not at all. What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's one piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate. I'd really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item that he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? What? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What's the piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is and that it still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? If we let it go, we lose. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor, that sounds so much better. The defense has no intention of letting this go that easily. You are beginning to sound a little desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Please don't mock me. I am not desperate at all. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not, like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth, but there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Okay, literally the only thing that's been new is this and that. So it's either this or that. Let's go with that. That is Miss Unpaw's suicide note, right? Who knows? Oh, yeah, I could have been forged. We don't have her handwriting. I mean, sure, the suicide note was found inside the bear, but this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Unpaw or not, has yet to be remotely confirmed. I mean, you have to get someone to analyze it. Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin the murder on Mr. Unguard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into the bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indescribably accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. Except there is. Well, I mean, like, if she wanted to. There's evidence of that. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. No. Miss Andrews, who you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame that Unguard. I did no such thing. Right, if you're going to pronounce this suicide note as fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. It's not my place to prove it. You have to prove that it's real. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh. Damn burden of proof. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting in the suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting is yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that, yet again, we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. Impossible. That's impossible. This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy some more time. Ungard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 guilty. Oh my god, the chance. Gumshoe, I swear to God. What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe. What is with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say. Besides, I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Yeah, killing him. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for him, pal. Don't you worry, just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't. We don't have any more. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Can I ask the gallery to please be silent? Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far in. Oh, what is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Literally, no. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch. Mr. Edgeworth. Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. Fuck. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day. Thank you, Edgeworth. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tasks on this piece of evidence in that time. You really could. She's a public figure, a manager. There's thousands of documents she signed. Can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? No. 30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well, I don't give a fuck. At the prosecution's request, the court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Oh my god, there's so much stress. March 23rd, 2:04 p.m. Right, well, what's going on with Maya's situation? Fucking Gumshoe's useless. That's what's going on. The killer, he looks like he got away again. 30 minutes. We can't find her in that time. Gumshoe, I swear to God. I swear to God. Report! Oh, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time to spit it out. Right. Looks like we just missed them, sir. The killer left a few things behind by accident and has rushed to get away. few things. Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho, I thought you would ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. You're Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. He's going to jail by the next game.